So Leave the Company is a game where you search, sell, buy, and die. It's pretty fun with friends. But instead of looking at an actual good game that's only like $9.99, we're gonna look at bootlegs. No, not those kind of bootlegs. I wouldn't buy those unless they made like a Bee and Bunny plush, but those aren't gonna happen. We're looking at Roblox bootlegs of Leave the Company. Yay! Anyway, we're gonna have like a few categories like how the game looks and its general style, and next we have is gameplay, how the game functions, how items work, and how fun it is to play. Then we got monsters, we're gonna review how fun they are to play against. And then we have creativity, like how creative is it and how cool is it. And lastly we got monetization, the most greedy of them all. We will slap these all together and times it by 2 to get the full grade and stuff. Why is it like this? I don't know. Anyway, I've yapped way too much, so we're just gonna get into the first one. I'll be honest with you, this game isn't really that good. Which really should have been obvious because of the presentation, because the first thing you see on this game is AI. Another one of these games we see is AI. It's literally just, yeah, it's very, very lazy. And also not original at all, so should have been obvious. And the fact they have like a singular screenshot and it could be stolen, which is just a horrible sign. Yeah, the presentation is absolutely horrible. And the first thing you see when you get into the game is this. Presentation sucks. 1. And the gameplay isn't doing much better because it plays basically like Leave the Company, but worse. The only thing that's kind of different is like crates, which you can get by placing items in the ship. If you don't place items in the ship, you don't get money. Which kind of sucks because I was playing it by just taking items outside and letting other people take them inside the ship, so you know, I got no money. And most cosmetics don't even look that good. They're probably stolen from like the avatar shop, to be honest. I'll throw them like one bone that the suit colors are free, but that's it. That's only actual original or new thing here. I mean, there's also a leaderboard, but like, does that really matter at all in the slightest? Speaking about things that don't matter in the slightest, this. Why is this the only good sounding thing in the game? Everything else is like too quiet, or those metal stomping sounds. Why would you ever make your walking sound effect the loudest thing in the game? Why? Not to mention that there's literally no original maps here. All of them are the same. They're just sized weirdly, and on Titan, the guardrails just don't exist, except on the big square for some reason. Everywhere else, the guarding rails don't exist, even on the fire exit. Why is this a thing? Why? And you take damage if you fall down the ladder, unlike the original game. Not even to mention that they turned this to this, and the many bugs. Yeah, this really isn't good. I'm gonna give gameplay like a 3. I mean, you think the monsters would be better, but none of them are original. Crawler, Thumper, Mothman Bracken, Doll Man, Coilhead, Eyeless Dog, Eyeless Canine. You didn't even try with that one. I mean, even in the main menu, you called it an Eyeless Dog. You really aren't hiding that you're just stealing stuff from the game, aren't you? I mean, they can't even get in a ship. I'm pretty sure there's even less enemies in the original game. Like, there's more missing than there are here. You don't have worms, you don't have butlers, you don't have old birds, you don't have loot bugs. You also don't have tulip lizards, you don't have giants, you don't have nutcrackers, you don't have mask. There's so many enemies missing. It doesn't help that the enemies have basically no lore and function exactly like how you would expect them to work. There's seriously nothing upside. There's nothing you could show me that would make me think okay, let's move on. Also, by the way, enemies get like a 1. I mean, it would have gone a 0, but you know, yeah, that bumps it up to a 1, so yeah. How do you find creativity in something that's basically meant to not be creative? Simple answer, you don't. Like, I can't remember anything creative here that isn't like a bug or a glitch or by accident, so you know, I mean, I don't know what to do with this. I mean, the most creative thing I found was like, I mean, I can't actually think of anything that's really creative here. I was gonna say something, but I just can't. I'm seriously at a blank. I guess the items not working at all is creative. I'm pulling at straws here. I don't know what to say. I don't know what to do. This game is so unoriginal. I just can't say anything. I mean, it's kind of the purpose of it, but still, it has a 0 originality, so it deserves 0 creativity. And yeah, you know. Also, this game was horrible to play. I would never play this game again. Never play this game again. Never. Never. Well, I don't think I really explained monetization that well, but basically it's just, you know, is there gambling, game passes, is there a currency system, which this game has all of them. All of them. I mean, the game passes aren't that many, but they're still pretty expensive for game passes. Also, before we move on, let me add all these passes together. Okay, so add them together, you get like 896. How much does Roblox even cost? Oh, that's more than $10. And if we look back, we will see that $9.99 is how much the original game costs. I'm sorry, but this isn't a good deal. I know it's more like, hey, you don't have to buy all of them, but you put them there anyway and made it cost more than the original game, which, to be honest, it feels kind of just random and slapped on. Not really any forethought was put into this, so, you know, I guess they didn't think about making it more expensive than the original game, but still, I'm not gonna pay more for a game with less. I'm sorry, but the monetization gets like, ooh. And thus, it is time to put the scores together. I mean, it shouldn't really be surprising that I got this low of a score. This game is a hollow, empty shell that isn't trying to say anything or do anything. It's just there to get money. Unlike the original game, it doesn't have anything to say, which makes it just nothing. Like, I could just yap up on about it, but I'm just not. I'm not wasting more time on this nothing game. And I only have one more thing to say about this. Good riddance. Wait, didn't we already review this game? Oh wait, never mind. They have basically the same thing. They both use AI. And this one uses AI for everything in the presentation. You know what? Excuse me for a moment. I'm gonna go a bit of a rant. How AI works is that it takes a bunch of stuff from the internet, squeezes it into a paste, and gives out the most common answer. Yeah, that's how AI works. It doesn't really have any intelligence in it. It's just a guessing machine that guesses the most common prompt. And you have to put a lot of work just to get it to make some subpar art that you could just make in MS Paint. Like, seriously, have you ever seen like the bad, quote-unquote bad art? You know how much people actually like it? Like, I could count a few on them. Sonichu, Nana, Sheko, I forgot the game is. Nana, Neko, Sugar Girls. And we even got like this guy in Furryland. See, people just like goofy, weird art, and AI just mostly creates body horror, which it's good for memes, but for an actual story, no, you can't. AI on its own cannot make a story or really anything. So, you know, it's not really the best thing to show here, especially because of how easy it is to use AI. It just kind of shows how lazy you are to even make a singular thing. Too lazy to go in MS Paint, too lazy to go in Photoshop, too lazy to even take a screenshot of your game. It just feels like you don't care at all about the product you're making or have any passion for the game. You just made it for money, which is what this feels like. Except like they tried a bit more than the last game. That's the only difference. Okay, rant over. Let's get into the actual review of the game. Also, their presentation is 0 because I'm tired of this. To be continued, because this video is taking way too long to make.